AI can give you a beautiful frame in seconds and still deliver a dead scene. The difference is blocking, not where people stand, but why they move, what they avoid, and what the camera is allowed to witness. Blocking is the physical version of subtext. Its power, intimacy, threat, and change made readable through bodies in space. Dialogue can lie. Bodies usually do not. So if someone says, "I'm fine," but walks away, stops at a window, and won't turn back, you just staged the truth. You blocked the lie, not the line. Here's the core shift in the AI era. The machine can populate a room, extend a set, simulate crowds, and even generate smooth camera moves. What it cannot do, at least not reliably, is choose the human judgment. It won't decide that two characters should never share the same frame until the final shot. It won't know the one moment a confession lands harder if the speaker turns away. Those are decision layer choices. Once you lock them, AI can execute the pixels cheaply, but it cannot choose what matters. One of the most useful tools is depth staging. Put one figure close to the lens and another deep in the frame. Now you have dominance versus exclusion, intimacy versus distance, without a word. The space between them becomes the relationship. Your frame isn't just a rectangle, it's a measuring device for who matters and who is being pushed out. Before you even pick a lens, define the sightline. For two people, think about their eye lines. Decide whether the camera sits on that line, which feels like confrontation, or off it, which feels like observation and imbalance. Every shot inherits that choice. If you skip it, you end up chasing coverage instead of designing meaning. Movement also needs a trigger. Characters should not drift. They move because something changes. A decision, a realization, a threat, a lie. The move marks the beat. If nothing changes, keep them still. Stillness is pressure. A centered, unmoving figure can feel confrontational simply because the frame refuses to blink. Frame entry and exit are punctuation too. Someone entering already in motion reads as urgency or control or inevitability. Someone stepping into a static wide reads as caution or exposure. An exit that leaves you staring at empty space carries weight. Cutting away instantly often releases it. So decide what the absence should feel like and hold for it when needed. If you're shooting for an edit, block for the cut, not for the master. A wide shot can look great, and your close-ups can still collapse into a flat line with no geography. You want each setup to have a distinct spatial read, with real foreground and background separation. When coverage flattens the depth, the edit loses its sense of place, and the scene starts to feel generic. Blocking also controls intimacy through simple geometry. Keep two characters isolated in singles and you're staging separation, even if they're in the same room. Let them share a two-shot, and the story suddenly allows connection. You can delay that two-shot until the final embrace, or start tight together, and let them drift to opposite edges of frame-to-stage dissolution. The relationship becomes visible as distance, not exposition. Vertical blocking is a power tool, literally. Standing over someone reads as dominance. Sitting while the other stays standing can read as submission, exhaustion, or vulnerability. Stairs and platforms aren't decoration. They're status. If your staging feels flat, it's often because everything happens on one horizontal plane. Music video adds one special blocking decision that film rarely has. What is the artist's relationship to the lens? Direct address, observed performance, or a hybrid that changes at structural points in the track. Choose one per section, then flip it on the chorus, the bridge, the drop, or the final verse. If the artist stays center frame, performing the same way for 3 minutes, the video becomes a screensaver. Give them an entry, a journey, and a shift in proximity to camera. When you direct an AI system, don't describe vibes. Write a spatial script. Give positions, moves, and triggers. Who turns, who doesn't, who crosses frame, and when. Define camera motion relative to body motion. Like dollying back, at the same speed, someone walks forward, keeping the distance constant. The camera move and the body move should feel like one choreographed unit. If you want a fast test, shoot a 2-person scene on your phone from 3 angles. A wide that shows the space between them and a medium single on each.